Hello, beautiful earth angels. Welcome. Welcome to Earth Angels Unite. I am delighted to be here with you for podcast 165. There is room for all of you. Your energy body is comprised of 4 interconnected layers: your energetic roots, your universe of parts, your chakra system, and your auric field. Last week, we strengthened the foundation of your energy body through the energetic roots. Today, we're exploring the second layer, your universe of parts. Your parts are your humanity, your personality, your ego, and the protective aspects of you, of yourself that you've developed throughout your life. The goal is not to fix, suppress, or get rid of your parts, but to love them the way your angels do. Emotional relaxation begins with every feeling, every emotion, and every part of you knows that there's room to belong, which I really love. Okay. I'm so happy to be here with you, sharing this teaching, actually talking about something that means a lot to me on a poignant anniversary day. So for those of you who are new to me, my name is Jill Kempner, and I'm known as the angelic pain relief expert. I serve as an angel coach, alchemist, and author of Receiving from Your Angels. And my podcast, the intention of my podcast is to share teachings from my book and to create a space of transformation. And what I mean by that is that you come one person and you leave transformed. If you set the intention to make this time with your angels, that is what will occur. And when we make time for our angels, we make time for their love, insights, wisdom, inspiration, and all the healing that's available for you. So my mission is to lead highly sensitive, highly intuitive souls to transform their pain into peace and become calm, clear, and confident with angel love and relaxation. This is my mission. This is my passion. This is what I do and think about every single day, all day. And I'm really here to heal the pain of the world one soul at a time and help you glow from the inside out. Why? Because we've taken all that heaviness, all the pain, all those wounds, all the lead, and we've turned it into spiritual gold through the relax, release, receive process, through the slow, simple, soft process. Okay, say hi if you're here. Welcome. So happy to be here with you. Okay. So happy Tuesday, happy July. Today is the anniversary of my mom's passing. It's been 4 years, and so much has evolved, so much has healed. I set the intention this year to get gems from the dash, which I labeled the time between my mom's diagnosis and death, the dash. And I set the intention to teach this class at the end of the month and to do a series of podcasts about them. Talking about the energy body, adding value to your life, bringing the invisible to the tangible, right? Grounding the divine. And the fact that this series of podcasts and this particular podcast landed on universe of parts is kind of perfect. So say hi if you're here. So it's all divine. I'm just listening because I heard something. Okay, so we'll go into the teaching, and then if more downloads come through, I'm happy to be here with you. And I'm grateful for you. And I know, many of you connect with this offering, with this medicine through the replay. I do send this replay in my newsletter. And I'm hearing the angels say something. So this is my 165th podcast. I mean, that's pretty awesome. I'm wondering when I'm going to have a big podcast celebration party. I'm proud of myself for staying with it. And these podcasts are like the living transmission of my book, right? They're my book coming alive. They're my book as a living document that continues to teach me and help me grow and learn and heal. And so your energy body is designed to protect your physical body, to release pain, and to receive love. And there is a sacred relationship between your physical body and your energy body. So we know the guidance that we've received, the facts, right, of how to care for our physical body, right? Rest, hydration, sleep, nutrition, right? All in harmony and balance. And, of course, there's other layers, right? But it's the same idea as we want to care for our physical body, our vessel, the home of our soul, the truth teller. We equally want to care for our energy body. So in order to do that, we need to have an awareness of our energy body. So one of the things the angel said to me, which I found very profound and helpful, was the size, strength, and adaptability of your energy body depends on your awareness of it. And I was like, wow. That was a very profound insight for me. And I'm like, having a Mercury retrograde morning, actually a week, but the fact that the parts, which is about emotional healing, emotional relaxation, emotional expression, landed on my mom's 4-year anniversary of her death did not elude me. And I'm grateful to be able to share some of the 5 guiding principles about the parts and how that related to the journey that I was on with my mom. It's very poignant, I guess, is the word I'm looking for. Okay. So we're going to talk about the 5 principles. And these principles, the intention of them is for you to begin to expand your awareness into this aspect of your energy body. When I was writing the book, the angels were leading the way. My soul was leading the way and sharing with me what would be the most impactful, what would be the most helpful conversation, information, and what would be the most authentic. And your energy body had to be in here. So we have a whole section called Energy Body 101. And I was like, okay, I know about the aura and I know about the chakras. And I had at that point started to really understand the purpose and power of the roots. But I was like, well, what's the other layer? And I did think about the meridians. I did think about the nadis. But when the angels brought to me that I would be naming the parts, which is something I had been focused on learning about and practicing healing within myself for over a decade by the time I wrote this, I was like, oh, I never thought about it like that. Oh my God, of course they're part of the energy body, part of the energy world, the energetic aspect of us that can at times feel so real because they are. I was like, oh, wow. Okay. So, number one, your soul is the intended leader. Think about your soul as the conductor of the orchestra and your parts as the musicians, right? Your parts are meant to support your soul, not lead. So we're always, your angels are always guiding you back to your soul's frequency, the calm, clear, confident you. And they know that the slow, simple, soft process takes you there, reminds you of who you are, reconnects you with your soul as the leader. I'm going to share stories about this, but I'm just giving you the principles right now. Number two, every part has a noble intention. Before I share that, I'm going to back up just a tiny little bit. So the awareness of parts work came from a model of psychotherapy called IFS, or internal family system. So I didn't make this up. I'm talking about parts as energy, whereas they're talking about it also as psychological and mental and all of that, right? I'm talking about it more from an emotional level and a spiritual level. Okay. So thank you. When I learned that every part had a noble intention, I felt this wave of relief wash over me, because it reminded me of my inherent innocence, my inherent goodness, my inherent purity that I really struggled with throughout this lifetime. So no part of you is bad. Every part is trying to protect you, even if its strategies no longer serve you. So every part has a noble intention. To me, became a balm on the wound of shame, of self-judgment, of that harsh inner critic, because even those parts had a purpose. Number three, your parts fall into three protective categories: managers, firefighters, and exiles. This particular offering, we're not going to go into what each of these means and how they operate and all of that. However, it's incredibly valuable information. And I did do a part series all about parts at some point in my podcast. So managers, firefighters, and exiles each have a unique role in helping you navigate life and protecting you from pain. Now, here's something that was helpful for me, right? Your soul, your angels, source, they're all on the same side, love every part of you unconditionally. They love the darkest shadow. They love the deepest pain, the gaping wound, all equally. And that to me was like, wow. I just love that frequency. I love that experience. Okay. Number four. This was something else that like I loved, but also was like, huh? Right? You can never get rid of your parts. These are the 5 principles. Your parts cannot be destroyed or eliminated. They can be acknowledged, healed, transformed, rebalanced through love, through the love of your soul and your angels. So notice if you feel that, if only I could get rid of this part of my personality, this experience, this wound, this fear, right? If only I could get rid of it, I would be okay, right? Watch yourself doing that, because what the angels are reminding you of, that's not you. That's a part of you. There's a part of us that wants to get rid of other parts. And again, it's all coming from protection. But I'll tell you one thing the angels taught me. Love is the greatest protection. All right, and number 5, your parts are real. What do I mean by that? Your parts are not imaginary, right? They're not imagination. However, we do use our imagination to connect with them, right? We use our clairvoyance, our inner vision, our imagination, our creative self to connect. They live in the non-physical, your parts live in the non-physical aspect of your energy body, just as your angels do. So I love thinking about our universe of parts, which technically are invisible to the naked eye, are just like your angels, which are invisible to the naked eye for most people. Sorry, I was crying this morning, so my throat's like, ugh. So although you may not see them with your physical eyes, you might not see your parts with your physical eyes, although I think this is really cool. One of my cards today was Archangel Raphael, see with enlightened eyes and open to abundance. I didn't even realize I'm wearing the green for Raphael today. And I thought that was kind of perfect because that's what we have to do in order to access our parts is see with enlightened eyes. And my fuel is abundant. So this card felt very synchronicity. And I was like, why am I wearing green? Oh, I know why. Love synchronicities. So although I'm going to repeat this, although you may not see your parts with your physical eyes, they're every bit as real as your thoughts, your emotions, your intuition, your angels. Hi, say hi if you're here. Hi, Liz. Okay, so I'm just listening. I wanted to share a little bit about how these principles worked or were present with me during my mom's cancer journey. So and today is her 4-year anniversary of her passing. I'm just listening because I feel like they want me to say something and I'm like, ugh. I'll just give a little, for those of you who are new to me, right, and might not know the story. So my mom was a registered nurse, was an RN, and she retired from nursing after 30 years and then and was diagnosed 2 months later with bile duct cancer and then died a year later. And bile duct cancer is similar to pancreatic, and she was not able to have any type of surgery. It was non-resectable. And she also lived most of that year with biliary drains. So it was she was in a lot of pain, and she was young and didn't do all the things. So there was a lot of sort of heaviness and regret. And she was also worried about my brother who had a brain injury, and that was part of her stress. And so, knowing that I would be the one, taking care of him. And then a year later, he passed. So I've had a lot of loss and a lot of grief in a short amount of time that I've been using the practices in my book to heal. And honestly, turning my pain into purpose, turning my pain into peace by sharing my truth, sharing my medicine, sharing all of it. So my intention with every single one of my offerings is to add value to your life through vulnerability and visibility. And I'm tender today. So far, I've had a very nice morning connecting with my mom's spirit. Okay. Number 1, your soul is the intended leader. So when my mom was diagnosed with terminal cancer, Just weeks after retiring from 30 years of nursing, my entire world changed. I was thrown into being a full-time caregiver, caring for her, my brother, their diabetic cat, and then, of course, my whole family and business and all of that. There wasn't just one Jill responding to the diagnosis. There was a frightened daughter, the fixer, the nurse, the researcher, the caregiver, and the little girl who couldn't imagine losing her mom. So every one of those parts had something to say, and every one of them wanted to take the lead. One of the greatest lessons my angels taught me was that while every part was welcome, which is what emotional relaxation is, none of them were meant to lead my life. My soul was. So my soul could hold compassion for every frightened, scared, grieving part while remaining connected to truth, love, and the angels. That became the foundation of emotional relaxation throughout my mom's cancer journey. So, one of the practices that I had was aligning with my soul every day in the morning in my practice, but not just then, right? Every day throughout the day. And the practice was so simple that I could have ignored it. I could have dismissed it. I could have not done it. It's just inhale and blend with your soul, and exhale and unblend from that part. Now, we're not unblending like, ill, get out of here. I don't want to see you. We're unblending so we can see it and love it, witness it, and restabilize it, rebalance, and unburden it is one of the terms in the internal family systems world. Number 2, every part has a noble intention. So as my mom's health declined through failed ERCP procedures, sepsis, biliary drains, countless hospitalizations, and unimaginable pain, I noticed my protective parts working overtime, right? My manager wanted to organize every appointment and research every possible treatment. My caregiver wanted to make everybody comfortable. My fixer wanted to solve the unsolvable. And for a long time, I judged those parts for working so hard. Eventually, I realized they weren't trying to control everything. They were trying to protect the people they loved. That realization changed my relationship with myself. Compassion replaced judgment because I understood that every part has a noble intention. So that key principle can be so powerful in awakening your true self and awakening your compassionate self. Let me know if that resonates. Now, this next one, I could talk about a lot more. This next one I could talk about a lot more because it's a very multi-layered principle. Your parts fall into 3 protective categories. So during my mom's treatment, I could clearly see 3 protective categories at work. My managers kept lists, asked questions, coordinated care, stayed organized. Oh my God, the medication drama. Because she was in such pain, we had to have, the controlled substances, fentanyl, Norco. And we were at a smaller local doctor's office, which was nice in a lot of ways. There was more personal care, but it was also a little behind the times. So there was a lot of like driving back and forth. I had to pick up, she's in excruciating pain. We need medication. I have to go to the doctor's office, pick up the physical piece of paper, take it to the pharmacy, wait for them to fill it, bring it back to my mom, whatever. You know what I mean? My firefighters searching for relief from the constant stress, heartbreak, break, and uncertainty. And my exiles, right? My tender little girl, my little inner child carrying the fear of losing her mom and wondering how life would ever feel safe again. Understanding these categories gave language to the experiences that I felt for years. Instead of believing I was anxious, controlling, overwhelmed, stressed, I began recognizing with compassion the different parts of me that were trying to help in different ways. Awareness created compassion, and compassion created space for healing, space for my angels, space for love. Okay. So, number 4, you can never get rid of your parts. As my mom entered hospice and we prepared to say goodbye, I desperately wanted some of my feelings to disappear. I wanted the fear to leave. I wanted the sadness to stop hurting. I wanted the grief to go away. But instead, my angels taught me something much more loving. That healing doesn't happen by getting rid of your parts. It happens by reassuring them that they are safe, that they are loved, and they no longer are carrying the burden alone. My grieving part didn't need to be fixed. She needed my soul to acknowledge her, my angels to comfort her, and permission to feel what was true. What was true, what was real, what was alive in me in that moment. So, the principle, you can never get rid of your parts. There is sort of a caveat to that, which is if you're carrying someone else's parts, because we're not supposed to do that and we don't have to do that. Your angels can clear that. But um it kind of feel like a double-edged sword, right? It can feel like, oh, this relief that like all of me are loved, right? Which is the title of this. There's room for all of you, which is the sort of the basis of emotional relaxation. And the other part, like, ugh, am I ever going to be free of this wound, free of this pain? And the answer is yes. You can use the alchemy formula, the relax, release, receive process to slow down, simplify, and soften and give any and every part of you relief. And this is the biggest um, aspect of the work that I do with my clients is I help them to see their parts with enlightened eyes, through the eyes of love, through the eyes of their angels. And also simplify the story, right? I mean, slow, simple, soft, but the simplifying is sometimes when we're in either really deep physical or emotional pain, there's a lot of parts, right? And it's like, oh my gosh, what part do I need to work on? And it can feel so overwhelming. But what we do in the slow, simple, soft process is we identify the loudest part. And here's the thing that's so cool that isn't part of this, but isn't part of the 5 principles, but I feel like it's thank you, angels, is we only have to work with the loudest part. So we can get like sort of overwhelmed, like, oh my God, I have all these parts. So many parts, right? Talk about like, this is part of why I never feel alone. I'm like, I never feel lonely. Although I have so much compassion if we have loneliness. It is a wound and it is true. My mom had a lot of loneliness. I just don't experience that because I have a deep relationship with my inner world and with the um, ethers as well. But like, oh, there is um I lost my train of thought. It's okay. It'll come back. Um, I know the angels are going to make me move on, and then I'm going to come back and be, I totally remembered what I was going to say. So we can never get rid of our parts is where I was. It's okay. I lost my train of thought. Mercury retrograde. So one of the biggest things I do with my clients, right? Oh, the loudest part. I was like, I knew I'd remember. Is to identify the loudest part, because here's the thing that's really cool. We only have to work with the loudest part to create transformation, to create relief. And that's a relief. It's like, oh, no matter how many parts are loud or vying for attention or need love, if we work with the loudest part, it has a ripple effect out into the inner world. So, as you can imagine, clients coming to me with different layers of their own journey of healing different illnesses, diseases, issues in the tissues. The relief of knowing that we can both identify the loudest part and give that part relief is everything. So thank you for that download, angels. You're beautiful. All right, number 5, your parts are real. So one of the most important things that I've learned is that your parts are real. They're not imaginary or just in your head. Like your angels, your parts exist in the non-physical reality of your energy body. Although you can't see them with your physical eyes, you absolutely experience them. I mean, gosh, we experience them through all of our senses and through our psychic senses. So the stress I experienced was in my mom's journey, cancer journey, the dash was real. The grief was real. The fear was real. The regret was real. That's what I released in the 3rd year anniversary, was regret. Took me 3 years to release the weight of regrets. Some of them were hers that I felt I was carrying a torch to. During my mom's cancer journey, those parts often felt louder than my soul, right? The regret, the grief, the fear, the anxiety, the sadness, the stress. Many, many times felt louder than my soul. There were moments when the weight of being my mom's primary caregiver, witnessing her suffering and knowing she was going to die, almost felt unbearable. My mom carried tremendous grief about the dreams she wouldn't fulfill, the years she wouldn't get to live, and the people she was leaving behind. And I carried my own grief, fear, and helplessness as I walked beside her. There were many days when those parts overshadowed the joy, the love, and even the sacredness of the journey. I am forever grateful for the relax, release, receive process that got like seriously anchored into my system. I want to say this: my mom got diagnosed and I was just editing my book. So my book was published when she was still on this side. And I was in the process of like birthing the book baby and putting this medicine out into the world and sharing it. And I still worked. I worked the entire time that I took care of my mom. The biggest reason I worked is because this is my life's mission. This is my soul's work. So doing it is what filled my cup. Doing it isn't the right word, but working, sharing, teaching. So I was still teaching workshops, sharing my medicine, adding value, seeing clients, while my mom, I definitely was on a lower, she was the first priority, but I still worked. So I'm forever grateful for the relax, release, receive process because it didn't ask me to pretend that those parts weren't there, those feelings, those emotions. It taught me to acknowledge them, love them, and allow my soul and my angels to hold them with me. That's the gift of emotional relaxation. So, emotional relaxation, which means room for all of you, is the medicine of the empath, right? Because there's no part of when we deny, suppress, um, or exile our feelings, our emotions, our self-expression, we're diminishing our medicine, we're diminishing our intuition, we're diminishing our connection because our emotional health, well-being expression is part of how we can be these magnets of miracles, I'm hearing, right? These medicine men and women. Wow, I love that. So emotional relaxation becomes the access to our universal parts. Like physical relaxation is the access to the energetic roots. And you'll see the different levels of relaxation working with your energy body. So it's like, okay, well, how do I do this, right? Like you're going to emotionally relax, right? And so one of the things I teach my people is to inhale and call all of your power parts and energy back, and then exhale, let your power, parts, and energy settle in. That's the practice of emotional release. There's two practices that I teach. That's the one I'm sharing here, right? Inhaling and calling all of your power, parts, and energy back from other people, from situations, from the wounds, all the things, right? And bringing it into the now and letting your, giving yourself permission to feel, to emote, to honor your truth. I hope that resonates. So, the gift of emotional relaxation, meaning there's room for every part of you, even in the middle of unimaginable pain. Yeah, that's the gift that you give yourself. Okay, I'm teary and choky today. So, thank you for listening. Thank you for being here. I especially, I mean, I love helping highly sensitive, highly intuitive souls. I especially have, I have a special place in my heart for people who are going through the cancer journey or their caregivers and loved ones. Um, those who have experienced trauma and the subsequent PTSD, those who've experienced chronic pain, and honestly, those who've experienced emotional pain, who are seeking soul alignment, angelic connection, and a deeper meaning, a higher purpose to their pain. And so I pray that I'm an inspiration to you, to those of you who may be struggling to find your footing, to honor your truth, to step into your higher self, your highest timeline. Hi, say hi if you're here. Before I pull a card and we close, I wanted to share an invitation with you. I have a few invitations, but so I have something called, I have a free consult. It's called the Angelic Pain Relief Consult. And this is a heartfelt and compassionate space. It's a 1 hour conversation over Zoom where I'm listening to you and your angels. I want to say, I understand how vulnerable and simultaneously courageous this conversation is. Hi, Sarah. Good to see you. Thank you. And I would be honored to have this conversation with you. In this time, I'm going to share what your angels are saying about your pain, which creates a moment of relief. And then together, you and I, me, you, and your angels, are going to create your roadmap to relief. We're going to set a crystal clear intention. We're going to figure out the frequency, the vibration that's going to heal your pain. We're going to pull an archangel that's going to support you in that process. And then I will share, if we're a good fit, I'll share the details of my coaching program with you. I have multiple ways to work with me and the angels. So please reach out. This conversation is the best way that I can help you, and I'd love to have it. So walking beside my mom through her cancer journey, hospice, and death gave me an invaluable gift. Not because I would have ever chose that path, but because it transformed the way I hold space for others, the way I create space for others. I didn't just teach the relax, release, receive process. I lived it. I breathed it. I embodied it through one of the most heartbreaking, harrowing, and transformative experiences of my life. Today, I help my clients approach every part of themselves with the same compassion their angels do. And what a relief that is. Whether they're navigating, again, the cancer journey, chronic illness, PTSD, grief, anxiety, or another life challenge, I help my clients create emotional relaxation by acknowledging their parts instead of fighting them. Together, we move from fear to faith, from pain to peace, from heaviness to light, and from surviving to living with greater steadiness, love, and hope. So I would be honored to be your angel coach, to serve you in that way, and to support you in developing your angelic connection, a daily practice, and healing from the inside out, right? Because my ultimate goal of all of this is to have a gem, right? To have the gems so you glow from the inside out. Okay, let's pull a card for you, my beautiful people. How is it that you are experiencing emotional relaxation this week? What are your guardian angels saying about that? Ooh, I love it. And honoring your parts. All right. This is so perfect. Honesty and communication. Speaking for your parts, not from them. So instead of saying I'm sad, say I have a part that's sad. Or I'm angry, say I have a part that's angry, so that you stay aligned with your soul. And also the honesty and communication, right? Angels of honesty, angels of communication this week. Like, who are we being honest with? We're being honest with ourselves about our true feelings, being honest with ourselves about how we feel, because it matters. Your feelings matter. Your emotions matter. Your frequency matters. Your medicine matters. Your light matters. So you're being honest. It's not about being honest with other people. It's about being honest with yourself, about staying in communication, constant communication with your angels, constant communication with your soul, constant communication with your energy body, with your parts, right? So we welcome the angels of honesty and communication to, lead the way toward relief, toward soul alignment, toward healing. I love that. I love that message. How beautiful and synchronistic. So my dears, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for your love, your support, your medicine. Yesterday, I did a live stream with a new offering called Archangels for Pain Relief. It's a series of meditations that I'm leading, helping you understand that particular angel's frequency, and then a meditation to create relief. Yesterday was about Uriel and healing headaches and migraines. So go to my YouTube channel, find it, like it, share it, listen to it. Let me know what you think. I did get downloads for the next offering, which will be, it'll also be a live stream. And then after that, in August and September, those will be Zoom webinars that you have to enroll in. But in July, I made them free and open to the public. Ariel, July 20th at 4:30. I'm streaming it live like this, so YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. And I have the Energy Body Basics class, which is what this series, these next several podcasts are about, is promoting, marketing, and sharing what we're going to be putting all together in the Energy Body Basics class. It's Wednesday, July 29th at Sacred Ground. It's in the evening from 6:30 to 9 p.m. And the angels blessed us with a full moon day. So I'm super excited because I didn't plan that. So I love that La Luna is going to be bright in the sky, opening our intuition, our third eye to our energy body, and creating steadiness, right? So you step into the calm, clear, confident you, that you know how to connect with your energy body every day throughout the day, to stay connected, right? To stay aligned and to bring the deepest healing available for you. So I'm still waiting on that link from the studio. It's Mercury retrograde and there's all these other things going on, but it's almost live. It'll be live probably today or tomorrow. And I'll be sharing that with you once that drops. And yeah, I hope to see you again really soon. If you're not on my newsletter, go to my website, jillkempnerhealing.com, go to the bottom of the page and you can sign up for my newsletter to get these replays directly to your inbox. I'm so grateful for you. I hope you have an amazing day and week ahead. Thank you for your love and I'll see you. Bye, everyone. Hey, Pete. Hey, Hamsbone69, Liz, namaste, Sarah.